on the escalator again.
Leave it alone.
What?
Comics.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
TV and movies. Wrestling. Music.
We are just getting started!
Finally, a podcast about things you actually care about, hosted by a couple of guys who actually care about those things too.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Maybe a little too much.
Yes, that's awesome.
The talented one, Chris Machete.
That no-talent ass clown became famous.
And Brenton, you know, that guy from your other favorite podcast.
I liked it. I was good at it.
So grab onto the handrail and don't let go.
There's a little boy caught the escalator!
This is the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Woo!
Here's CM and BD.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Anakin.
That's how you end an episode.
Wow, that was great.
You,
Huh?
you know what I'm saying? Like, how excited was everybody to see that moment of fate?
Well, I said,
like,
I've been saying people can go back to the beginning of our podcast. I've been saying what they should have did. Started over with Disney. They should have took their time and developed some people. In the meantime, they should have picked up with the two greatest characters that were ever created, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. And here we are. Could you imagine if this was what the first saw coming out of the Disney?
oh my God.
purchase? Wow. Running
I
up
know,
that hill.
that would have been
I'm running
amazing.
up that building. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a nice little pickup. And it's funny because we got the first two episodes and then all of a sudden I was out here traveling, doing stuff. And I'm like, shit, episode 3's up. So it was great. It was great to have like that already available to us. So there was no messing around. I don't know if they pushed one this week. I know we talked about how many episodes, but there's only six episodes and they're already halfway there. They got a lot of shit to cover here over the next 3 weeks, man. You know,
That's interesting. Again, they could have made movies out of these. Could have, should have, would have.
and I don't know if it's going to continue. I think there's talk from what I'm reading that it's just these 6.
Yeah, well,
So
they
that's
gotta
going to
be-
be interesting.
It will be interesting. See, they don't Lucas's characters. You can tell, right? They really don't want to have to
Yeah.
rely on those characters. They're really trying to create some new ones,
Yeah.
or ones that haven't been fleshed out, like Boba Fett. But
Well, I think we talked about the fixing. I think this is the fixing series that we're getting. It's just like
Yeah.
fix all the Lucas shit and fix the Lucas stuff or
Mhm.
tie into the Lucas stuff to fix these last 3 movies and then let's just move on. And that I kind of feel like that's what we're getting.
It's too bad you couldn't go from like the moment that Rey handed Luke the lightsaber,
Yeah.
and it's like, and she
then
comes
start
back
over.
and it was all a vision. Obi-Wan's really her. I mean, and then we can flesh it out properly, like get some Vader
I know.
flashbacks. You know, Kylo Ren goes through this whole trial of Vader in his mind, and he goes to Vader's castle. Saw in Obi-Wan. Oh, see Vader's as soon as they hit most. Again, I'm talking to my wife. When I'm like, are they going to show it? It's like, oh my God, it's Vader's castle. How effing bitching is that?
was cool. I couldn't.
Man,
get
you
a
could do
picture
a
of it.
whole episode in Vader's castle.
Yeah, I got him on the throne and stuff like that, but I
Dude.
couldn't really find the castle. But
Oh
I
man,
found
that
some
was
of it,
like.
yeah, there was some rad stuff there.
Man, that was so cool.
It's given us everything that we want. But what I was thinking was that if it is just the 6 episodes, it's really just a tease. We're getting 6 episodes of this, and then they're going to shut it down. I'm really hoping.
The outcry is going to be. It's one of those things where they're not. It's like the Mandalorian, man. Like, Mandalorian's the Mandalorian. Woo! Oh, we got to have another one.
Yeah.
If it would have went bad, they wouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is,
Mhm.
they're understanding that Obi-Wan, or hopefully they are, because everybody's going nuts over this, right? So good to a person like me. Like, I can't speak for you, and I can't speak for any fan, but I find this actually satisfying as like,
Yeah.
you know, you really get into a storyline and you really get into layers of character, and this is your payoff. This is where you're like, this is the heart, the soul of what happened. This is what Obi-Wan looked like when he killed Anakin, and then this is what happened when Darth Vader was toying and saying, "Yeah, I'm back, man," and Obi-Wan was like, "Oh shit, I am so scared." He said that, you know, feeling the Force is like feeling safe, and Obi-Wan obviously doesn't feel safe, and he lay his head off, and you know, he's very
Well,
very
there's the
aggressive.
thing I love about this is the sloppiness to him right now is pretty, like, he's strong and he saves her from falling off a building, but he's so, like, even the
But just
fight,
like
even
a
the
ninja
fight
would do,
scene,
not like a
yeah,
Jedi would do.
even the fight scene with
And she
Vader,
keeps reading his mind too, right, dude? See her keep reading his mind.
yeah, it's
You've
just
been
like
hot since we met.
the fight scenes, like, with him were super clunky. You know, I've got some thoughts on, you know, the whole thing, but, like, so why don't you start us off and run the episode for us, and then we'll start talking into it here, as far as, like, how it flowed and everything.
Well, I thought, okay, well, I thought it was great. You think he's going to get busted, you know, by the stormtroopers a couple times, and I thought he was going to try and do the Jedi mind trick. And it's so funny because you're thinking, man, you're Obi-Wan, dude, but he's so disconnected from it that he can't do it. And you're saying he's so plunk. He's just like a soldier now. A soldier, he doesn't feel like a Jedi anymore. So you kind of that was decent. So I never thought about it. You get to see the display of what a normal trained fighter looks like, as opposed to what a Jedi would look like fighting, right?
And we never get that. We never get that back because he's super clunky in A New Hope. Like, that was a 70-year-old Al Guinness, but it was like
did. But here's yeah. Okay, so
you know,
take this physically though, like that. But remember, mentally, he scared the and he also did that wicked Jedi mind on the stormtroopers, which you'd think you were waiting for him to do in this episode, but he didn't. But he gets the powers back,
sure,
because he does do that. So we're heading towards something. So yeah, the whole stormtrooper interlude with the guy driving me of Obi-Wan went to name in the second movie, Clone Wars, and Dax ran and he had Jango Fett's dart, and he brought it to this Jax. That sounded like a voice to me. I can't remember who did that voice, but
I listened back on it. I thought it was Seth Rogen.
I thought that. Well, I thought I was thinking either Seth Rogen or it might have been what's not Filoni, but the other guy, Favreau. I thought it might have been Favreau as well, right?
No, it felt a little bit more like Rogen. But how cool is it for Hollywood and nerds like Kevin Smith and Rogen and all these guys that they're bringing in Rogen, because Rogen was in Boba Fett, right? Seth Rogen had a little cameo in Boba Fett. He was like a character that he did. So it would just be funny to kind of have these guys.
Bill Hader was in one of them.
Yeah, to have one of these guys like, hey guys, we're making all these Star Wars. Who wants to voice shit? Speaking of, Chris and I did some background stuff for the Bucketheads guys, and that's coming out soon. Yeah, we did a background.
That's my first movie voice credit that I can add to my.
But you know what's funny when you listen to them walking through town. There's all this stuff in the background in the town. This guy's like, "Hey, Charlie," there's all that stuff when you. I
always have closed captioning on, so it'll occasionally sing in the background too, and I'm like, "Oh, well, that's awesome. I didn't know that person said that. That's super cool." Yeah, so he goes through the stormtroopers. He meets the strange guy who's driving, loyal to the Empire.
Yeah,
and then right when you think it's all, there's a rebel spy that's a rebel sympathizer, Imperials, stormtroopers that seem to have Leia and Ben stuck. So he takes them to. It's funny that she takes them to like an underground escape for Jedi, the underground escape that Canada had back way back in the day, right? So Jedi escape, or people who had force sensitive powers. So this is cool because they are around basically underground hidden railway, underground tunnels, or underground. So there are other Jedi out there at this time, which is great. There's always you like to have that there's more out there. You know what I'm saying? And again, little Princess Leia is reading, looking at Ben and reading his mind, like, you're hiding something from me. which is cool. So her force powers are coming out a little more and a little more, and Ben's looking at her and seeing her mom in there, and there's some really sentimental moments. Again, if you would have did this in a movie format, man, holy crap, this would have been brilliant. And again, it's the beginning on the
she's
show.
like, you knew my mom. You knew my mom. And, you know, the funny
she even asked.
The other thing too that we touched on last week was how, and everyone's touching on. I listened to Kevin Smith's one and the Screen Rant one. It's like, how does she not know who Ben Kenobi is when Luke comes? She does know, and like, oh, Ben Kenobi, where is he? You know, there's sort of that thing. He does. I noticed in this episode when that when the woman that helps them. She says something about Ben Kenobi, and he's like, it's just Ben now. But then when you pan over, you see the little girl sitting there. So little Leia would have heard the rebel, you know, would have heard that woman say Ben Kenobi. So the first thing I thought was like, oh, well, she just said Ben Kenobi in front of Leia. So maybe that's the first thing where little Leia is going to like recognize that, you know,
going to get acknowledged. Be kept hidden from Jedi knowledge because her dad's pretending that the Emperor with the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So her Jedi knowledge for her own, she can't keep her mouth shut, would be probably secrets at that point, right? I would not think any relationship with Ben Kenobi wouldn't be shared with little Leia at this point. So she was really, you know, again, I really love her character. Keep thinking if this was done on a bigger money scale, what it would have looked like. I don't know. It's again, my favorite Jedi, and all the stories that myself, general Star Wars fan, religious Star Wars fan, brilliant. So I just watched it. So this is what I wanted to do with this one. It was just before we did this. So last time I didn't. So I'm still just wrapping my head. So after we get past all that, let's get to Vader, right? We're Vader being put together. And it's just brilliant. The way, as a Star Wars fan who thinks he could have corrected a lot of things, Star Wars asshole fan, I guess you would call me. I think this was really well.
I've got some thoughts on the Vader thing. So this is interesting to me. Yeah. There's been this big deal made of Hayden Christensen coming back, but really, really, it could be anybody in that suit, and it's James Earl Jones' voice. So the only thing, sure, but for now, the one thing that I love, to your point about him in the back, the back of the tank there getting healed up and all this other stuff, I would love to see non suit Vader. Like, I would like to see a little bit more like the way they did with Kylo. I'm not saying shirtless Vader. What I'm saying is the Kylo was not always in his shit. Sometimes he was. So this is like, we know what Vader kind of looks like underneath. You know, they got to put this on and they put that on.
Really good point. And that brings me, that's a great point. And that brings me to another thought. They're doing the comic books in between. And the thing they showed is Palpatine. The only thing he left on Vader was the alive man. His skin was showing, and he plopped him down on this. There you go, man. Prove yourself. Because he went looking for Luke, and he hired Boba Fett, and he didn't tell the Emperor, and the Emperor found out. So the way he punished Vader was by stripping him of all his weapons, just enough to keep him alive, and sent him down on this planet and sent all these bounty hunters for him.
Wouldn't that be amazing if that was the last? We talked about this before, but wouldn't that be amazing if that was the last scene of Kenobi, where the Emperor comes back, or there's some kind of weird thing, and he gets, the last scene is him being shipped to this, but I guess it takes place before the New Hope, so it's kind of like it would have to sort of sequence itself after A New Hope, because that's when that happens, right? Is after New Hope is when the Emperor blames him for everything. Is that after A New Hope?
Because he blames him for the Death Star blowing up.
Right.
And at the same time, but here's the thing. But just wait, I won't go back. So here's the thing, because we can't hit that yet. But this could be the next movie. My point.
Right.
Vader not only screws up on the Death Star.
Yeah.
He lets Luke get away, and not only did he let Luke get away, but he's planning to find Luke. Hires Boba Fett. So could you imagine if that's what happened? Dude, that would be fantastic. fantastic.
Yeah, it sets it up beautifully.
And then maybe have Han and Chewie are out doing their thing, like being scoundrels or something, like, or the whole Luke Vader thing, like, holy crap. And the Emperor, because the Emperor knows that Vader's doing this.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is just like the punishment between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back is basically the trials of Vader. So we have all
and that would be great.
this left. Dude, we have all this, so much left of Vader, dude. It's unreal. Not that much left of Obi looks like, but Vader,
Yeah.
boom.
Endless.
He's just a guy, like,
I want to see this like non-Darth Vader suit Vader. I want to see the more stripped down, like, you know, put him in the desert. I want to see that story. So for this thing, the only thing I'm saying is there's this big deal made about Hayden Christensen coming back and all the rest of it. But the thing is,
yes,
is that it's now Darth Vader in a suit, James Earl Jones speaking the same sort of like, you let me down, you you're not as powerful, but it's not as what back and forth. And now we're back to, you know, that. And I'm like, however, I love the evil Darth where he's just like kills the kid, kills the neck, breaks the neck.
God, I was going to mention
he's just
that,
walking through the village, killing people because he knows. And they touched on this at the beginning of the Obi-Wan thing. A Jedi is always going to be a Jedi, and it's going to be conflicted, and it's going to want to help.
hurt a Jedi is by hurting
Yeah.
an innocent person.
And he just starts killing people. How a little Hayden Christensen, evil as shit. You're gonna die. And let's bring this guy out and snap his neck, and let's kill this. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, you know, I predict we're going to see Obi-Wan hone his skills. I believe touch base with be another great backstory.
That's going to happen,
man. So
that's going to happen.
He's going to contact Qui-Gon Jinn. I think he's going to get his skills. We're going to see one hell of a lightsaber battle at the end of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if in Obi-Wan's mind he's visioning Vader as Anakin when they're fighting. You know what? Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that. I could see him thinking he's Vader, Anakin, and it's just killing him. You know what I mean? And if he's coming in and out of seeing Vader and Anakin, maybe I think that'd be a great way to do it. But I think we're going to see one more great lightsaber battle. I think we're going to see, and of course, you're waiting 10 years. You're waiting a decade to find this guy.
Yeah.
You find absolutely nothing. This guy basically in your mind ruined everything.
Yeah.
You find him and he's nothing. First of
he's
all,
hiding. He's running away. He's running away. Like,
first of all, you're like, okay, well, you know, now that I've got you, is like, wow, all right, I'm just gonna toy with you. I'm gonna make you suffer, and he does. He's burning him, and that was amazing too. I was like, oh my God,
insane. Look at that.
Killer,
yeah, just brings it up, and he's just like, I'm just gonna drag you along here. The whole time that was happening, I was wondering, like, is there some scars we don't know about? Because they talked about how they got to get to the scar. Something's got to happen because Vader's got the scar. When Anakin's mask comes off in Return of the Jedi, he's got this giant scar on his head that Anakin currently doesn't have. So he has to acquire that scar somewhere between now and Jedi. And they didn't cover it in Hope, Empire, or Jedi. So it has to happen either in this series where something happens. Maybe just an IKEA box falls on his head. I'm not sure, but maybe, but something happens that he gets that scar at the top of his head. And I'm wondering if that's like, we'll get this, like, you know, he invades the Vader's castle and he's in the gym working out, you know, and he shows up and he takes him out. Yeah. Who knows? But there's a few things to cover there, but that evil Vader, we got a glimpse of the powerful evil Vader in Rogue One.
Yep.
He's just destroying the place, and he's doing this and that. Very cool. This was pure evil,
dude. I would love to write or co-write a Vader story, man. Got so many amazing ideas. I would love to write a Vader story.
Get in line, right?
Well, hopefully somebody. Well, the thing is that there's none of them except like the comic books. They're in abundance and they're amazing, and I appreciate that. That's a funny. I love when it's my kind of secret thing, like. Secret thing is because nobody reads. Not a lot of people read the comic books, and I'm amazed by that because it's canon and it's like it's mind blowing. But there's so much in there that they could turn And I got so many other
I wonder if you
ideas
I
from
wonder if
it.
you could write a book, not call it Darth Vader, call it Behind the Black Mask, and go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just write one, and
You just don't
you
name
know,
anybody. And the guy says,
yeah.
and then he walked over here.
All right, so we've
And then
got
the other man.
three episodes in. We got 3 more to go. Man, we got a lot of
And we
people.
haven't even seen. Are we going for a drive? Like, wow.
We got a lot of people coming on that want to talk about this thing. I mean, Todd
Good.
wants to come on. We got all the panel of the guys. So I don't know if it's a maybe after episode 5 we can do a big huge panel and predict what might happen for episode 6 and
Sure.
see who's right. But I think everyone wants in. Where do you think we're going in episode 4? Because when we're left here, Reva takes you know, I like this part too, where he's basically like, you're going to be the Grand Inquisitor. You just got to go get him. And then the other guy takes credit for it.
That
And
other
she's like,
guy,
"You
man,
really-
that guy's awesome. He's starting to,
Yeah.
he's starting to talk like a snake, and it's very.
Yeah, and he's kind of going on about it, and she's like, "Do you really think he's going to side with you over me?" Like, I love that. Or she's like,
Again,
yeah.
I love that. See, the Sith, they work together, man. But it's all for one and one for all. You got to kill it. You got to
It's
step
just
on the
the
next
West.
person. It's great.
yeah, it's tons of stuff.
Great.
So
what a great storyline.
So she's going. She takes basically we're to assume that she has taken little Leia, and which means that she's probably going to take little Leia to Darth Vader's castle. My guess is.
Oh my gosh! Will it
Right?
get that? Will it get? It'll probably get
So
to the
then-
point where no, you know what?
Because I really wonder if there's going to be this like thing, because he doesn't really touch on Leia being the sister until Jedi, right? Your sister.
Yeah.
It's your sister.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll touch on it in this series. Like if Reva brings Leia up to Vader's castle and he kind of goes, "Who's this little
No.
shit?" Or
I
if he's
could
going to know
see
who
it
she
being
is.
where I could see it being where, like, you know, like I say, one's on the other, and all of a sudden, whoa, TIE fighters or XO, you know, like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
happens to stop. I could see them almost getting there. Moment where Vader's like, there's that moment where little Leia's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like I could see that happening for sure. But I can't see them in the same room together.
I think we're
Same
going to see a
shit.
swerve to Luke on the next episode. I think you're going to see Uncle Owen, Luke. I think you're going to see a bit of like they're over here. Reva's taking the child.
We're at a good spot,
Ben,
right? We're at a good spot where we have enough information.
Right. So now that I think this is where they switch the story to Luke.
And this when we started A New Hope, there Princess Leia got kidnapped, and then Luke was still down on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So I think it's a good time to change that story to some kind of thing, and then it'll bring it back around to setting up 5 and 6, which should be Obi-Wan in some kind of recovery training mode, and Vader, super happy that Reva found him and all that stuff, and more evil killing. I think.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure, and hopefully the scenes will turn into a little bit more of Jedi fighting and not.
Oh, it will, dude.
Yeah.
No, they do that on purpose. You know what I mean? They're proven, and they are really they're really hammering home how much Obi-Wan Qui-Gon. Man, wow, he really needs some help.
Yeah, which is really cool. And maybe they'll touch on, maybe it'll be him. It'll go to little Luke, and then the whole thing will circle back to him channeling Qui-Gon, and then that sets up 5 and 6. Either way, I think it's coming. Have you seen any Easter eggs in there? Have you studied up on Screen Rant or any of the other things and some of the Easter eggs?
No, I
in this
don't.
thing? 'Cause there's-
I don't think they need it. See, I thought
No.
Tala name sounded so
Tala
familiar.
was
I was
nice.
like, who is that, man? And then
Tala, but wasn't
Tala.
Tala? Didn't we hear something about Tala being Obi-Wan's wife? Didn't he get
Not back
married?
in that. There was I can't remember her name, but that was back in the Clone Wars, man. That was way back, and Darth Maul killed her. Yeah.
Maybe,
But again,
I
okay.
just
So
wanna-
another thing here too is the connection that Obi-Wan is having with little Leia. Man, they could hanked the newest movies through having Obi-Wan be the father so much cooler, and like whoever's thought of that first idea, they should have stuck with that. Because I'm looking at his action with the little one there, man, and it's just like be wondering, like, oh, geez, it would just cue so many things.
I wonder
Where it
who
could have been.
said in that. I wonder who in that world. And I don't imagine it would have been JJ, because I heard that the middle.
No,
movie,
it was.
I heard the middle movie guy was told he could do a few things, but there were certain things he couldn't do,
But yeah, he
including
didn't really have
reveal.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, reveal her
And then it was
parents. But
the
who
second
was
one sucked. Well, here's what happened. The second one sucked, and then Disney and thought, oh my God, well, we just pissed all over Luke Skywalker. What are we gonna do? Palpatine. So let's rewrite the ending, and this is what we'll do. And Dave and Dan were in there. They just got in from 10 to 20.
I got an idea.
$20 bottled water. And hey guys, we're just out for some sushi. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring back an old favorite, the biggest bad. We're gonna bring back the Emperor. Yeah, we're gonna just redo the very end, Return of the Jedi again, but we're gonna use different things.
Yeah. And they need to fight a big spider.
We'll make Palpatine look. I'm attached to things, so look like a spider. It'll be great.
Yeah, I like that idea that John Peters had there with the Superman with the spider.
Yeah.
Let's make him look all stringy. Let's do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, because we got to go get our feet massaged. Okay. Thanks. Who are related to somebody who owns everything.
Okay. So I'm stoked. I think we've seen quite a lot. We got a little Leia. We've got a very evil Darth Vader. We got a Ben that's kind of without skill right now, reluctant to use the lightsaber, reluctant to use any of his force powers.
He can't.
I have a feeling
He doesn't want to give it away.
I think there's going to be a moment here where he's going to be like, as you discussed, enough's enough. He's like, I got to bring this shit back. I got to,
See, Obi-Wan's like Henry Rollins right now. He's like, I'm not doing anything right now. I can't. It'll put too much attention on me. It's all about for them. But I'll sacrifice myself. I have.
Now you went and saw Rollins the other night. How was that show?
I did. Henry Rollins was great. Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins is a class act.
Yeah.
And top shelf individual. Walked out like he meant business and reminded me of my friend Andrew Stanage, like to a T, which was just woo. It's like this. And around him from the lights, it was just like wow. And he talks like Andrew talked like him, were like him. And my daughter was the production manager of the show, so it was like family night. And Mark and Moira were there as well, our other musical family. They were just up from us. We didn't even realize they were just up, a couple rows back from us. We were like fourth row. It was great. And he's just such a great guy. He talked about how he had a home invader, and he talked a little bit about how he got into Black Flag off. Really inspirational stories about a guy who home. Like, can you imagine that being a kid and like, you want to be anywhere but home. And that's what he started living on the road when he got older, and he loved it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's Get in the Van. His book is amazing. And Andrew, our fallen brother, never missed a Rollins opportunity, which
it's funny that Taylor's first
Kingston show,
managing show in Kingston was Henry
Rollins. Yeah.
That's like, you want to come to this? I was like, oh well, yeah, I have to come to this. Yeah, this is great.
Look at you going out again.
To the other one. What's that?
Look at you going out of the house again.
In there, man. Yeah. Well, I like going out when I'm on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Pup on Wednesday night, but oh man, it's just no. Plus, I'm good. I'm really busy.
Yeah, tons of us. So you got some stuff coming up. You got any appearances coming up? The last graphic I had from you was this, and those are you got May.
Yeah, so we did the Kingston Heritage Fair, and right now, dude, I've got 3 commissions on a large one that involves Darth Vader and a Power Ranger, and it's awesome. It's nothing rude. It's just it's a really awesome. Awesome piece. I'm working on for our hip hop artist Evan. If you're into hip hop, man, just it's Evan. You'll find him all over platforms. He's linked through my stuff too.
Very cool.
And what else are we working on? The clothing brand out of Toronto as well. I remember the name of it, but it's like skulls and cool stuff. So they got their hats ready. They got their back patch we're about to do for them, which is going to be really cool. We have a free online story of Skeletron coming on. So we're going to color this one. So this is going to be the first story of Skeletron. And
Because right now it's black and white on the inside.
Yes, colored covers. So we're gonna go back and do some little stories of Skeletron back when it first started, when it happened to him, when everything changed over. So we're working on that 5 times. That's awesome. Oh man, some Superman
but this is for the people.
So we're working on that.
Watching.
That's gonna be free online. Issue number 4 is coming out shortly. Where that's on the go as well. And yeah, I think that's what we're doing right now. It's busy. It's good. And I have my other book I'm working on. Yeah, there we go,
black
man.
and white as it comes in.
Yep, there's Kingston Penitentiary there. Yeah,
it's for people that are saying there's just a Skeletron issue.
Classic. If you like Jack Kirby, you like John Byrne, Scott Fulbert. There you go. Yeah, Ingersoll.
So it's traveling with me. It's in Prague. I should just leave this one in a comic store, Chris. In Prague.
That's fine. We can always send. I should send.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I should go into comic stores and just randomly take pictures of your comic in comic stores around the world, and then people get a kick out of that. So
yeah, I would get a kick out of that.
And then the new podcast is coming out. Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, speaking of Kingston, because the comic book is based on Kingston, and Dean might be interested in this one too. Okay, I'm terrible with years. I have researched this. I do know what I'm talking about. But back in the war days between the French and the British, I believe, there was a ship that went down on the shore around here, and the gold has never been found. And it's a huge conspiracy, and we're going to go right to where the gold should be. So what I found is research, but another group did, and we're going to show you this. And they've taken the old map of where the gold should be and where the ship crashed and put a new map over top of what's happening today, right? And so you can go right to where the ship went down. There's a beach there. You can see where the whole fight happened. And apparently the gold is there somewhere. Nobody's been able to find it.
How many people look for it?
I'll tell you. Don't worry.
There's people down there looking for it. Yeah.
Dude, as I say, like there's websites, videos, and people have already done tons of documentaries on this. So I'm going to borrow some. I'll take you there myself. Now the second one is the tunnel. Holy crap, man! When the war started here, what they did was started getting tunnels connected stuff, and what they've done now is they've sealed them off. Apparently, there's all these rats and vermin living in there that are getting like all crap and all this like whatever. And who knows what they're turning into. Top of that, yeah, right. But no, yeah. So and on that, this is great. Like the stuff I found here in Kingston's amazing, and this is cool because I'm going to talk. I have information on it, and I'm going to the shores of where this actually crashed, and the fight actually happened. I'm going right to the spot, my friends, my true believers. Finally, the penitentiary and the mental institution going on between there back in the day. Holy, I got some stories for you, man. And that's not even talking about the women's penitentiary, which I may not get into, but definitely going to get into between the mental institution and the penitentiary. And I'm going right there. My parents have actually studied that one. There's a nice little park by the old mental institution. So I might bring my parents there and they can show us around a little bit down there of what's going on and where the tunnel. I have 3 awesome subjects for my first conspiracy theory. Jeff from I was gonna say Jeff from Pearl Jam. Jeff from Moist. Jeff from Moist on the show to talk with me about it too. So maybe I can talk him into coming out for a coffee and he can tell me some. He's got a funny conspiracy theory about Hugh Dillon from the.
Ooh, that he's an alien? Because lately he looks like one.
Well, if I told you, you need to find out.
That's right. Chris got a new show coming out very shortly. He's going to have a bunch of guests doing all the stuff that you just heard.
Conspiracy theories.
KOTE Machete. Yeah, it's going to be rad. Starting soon. We've got The Boys starting, I believe, today. I think The Boys are starting today on Amazon Prime. I got to double check, but I think it was today. What is today? The 3rd? Yeah, I think The Boys start today. So that's something that we're going to get into reviewing as well, as well as episodes 4, 5, and 6. Ironically enough, of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Lots to get to. Whenever we can get to it, I'm traveling, as you know. I'm currently in Prague. Dangerous, Dorothy. I'm no longer on the Russian border-ish.
Yeah.
I'm not near Moscow anymore. I'm in Prague, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Incredible. Speaking of, you'd love this too, Chris, because I just was in Prague Castle today. Medieval. Man, some crazy shit that goes on in this town. This is like beautiful city, one of the most incredible cities you'll ever see in your life.
Mhm.
But the stories of Prague are pretty historical too. So
Cool, nice.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, well, for
but
the
it-
viewers, my mom was concerned that Brent was so close to the war, and she asked me to check in on him every night. Okay.
Well, Dangerous Dorothy, thank you. But I
Yeah, nice.
got through it, and to not get political, but I'm telling you something. Being around Prague, which is this beautiful city, and being in Latvia, beautiful city, everyone's the same. And I think people forget that. And by the way, congratulations on your province, by the way, on 4 more years of amazingness with your premier, your God fearing
Just
premier that just came in.
33% of Ontarians voted.
So
I did a little video on this. Like, we're gonna
yeah, I
vote.
saw that. Yeah,
Everybody, dude, everybody you can vote for. Anybody who has is born rich.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to apologize. And they are the ones that are being voted in by people who these are struggling to get by. We just hit a global pandemic.
Mhm.
The taxes are just ridiculous in Ontario. The
Mhm.
gas price is the highest it's ever been. Render, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's rich people, no idea what it's like to struggle to get by, to need help. So is being led by, controlled by people who have no what it is like to struggle
to struggle.
in life.
Not
You
only
aren't
that,
going to, and this is,
and
we are
that
never
have
going
never left their
to get anywhere.
house. Let me go for the record here for a minute, because I'm in Prague walking around a city. Okay, I'm in Latvia walking around the city. I've been to Kyiv before in the Ukraine. One of the most amazing, beautiful parts of the world is where I am right now. And people are walking their kids in the park, getting ice cream, having a beer in the park, walking around, having a wine. They walk up to the castle. They just want to be tourists. They want to do this. They want to do that. I always think it's hilarious when people that have never left their little town have opinions about how to, run things and all the rest of it. Okay. Everyone's the same around the world. And it really stings me to like think of this war going on in Russia and Ukraine when I just walked these streets. I couldn't imagine an F-16 bomber, an F-16 flying over my head and dropping a fucking missile in the middle of the town square, which is one of the most beautiful things. Ironically, to the big business discussion that we're having here, have you noticed that the soccer stadium in Kyiv has not been blown up yet?
No, but
Why? Why? I'm sure there's somebody on a bat phone going, no matter what you do it down.
Yeah, I will pay you.
Leave
You will pay
soccer.
you. Yeah.
Leave soccer stadium. We must get back with soccer.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking about that. How do you bomb a hospital
Oh, I
and
know.
not bomb the soccer stadium? So it's just,
Dude, did you know Pepsi profits go to basically the same people?
Of course.
Did you know that Duracell and what's the other one that fights with Duracell?
Energizer.
Did you know that the same rich people profit off of both things?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that let's revolt and let's fight against it, because I don't think we can. Personally, and this is not the way we were supposed to live, man. This is bad. Like the taxes on us right now here in Ontario. I'm ashamed of these people. Like we're all the same.
Yeah, but
man.
all the people that just voted for Fatty Fat Pats, they all blame Trudeau for it, and
Okay,
this
but
is
here's
as
the thing,
political
Brett.
as
Here's the
we
thing.
get.
His opposition was the person that helped Catherine, worst premier we've ever had, and we're still suffering from her.
Sure.
So why is that turtly looking mother effing up there? Because he's a rich who gets in there. We can't win. And I hate to say this. I am so pro youth, man. And this is Nothing Rollins said, man. I am holding the door myself. I want the youth to take charge. I'm sick of these old bastards who have had money all their life. You know what I mean? And are telling everybody how they should happen. Oh, you'll be fine. We're going to tax you for this. Oh, no, this will help the country. This will help the province, help the little people, help them now. Like,
Well,
and
that's
this is
why
why I
we
don't like
voted-
talking
when
about
we-
politics with friends. Like, you're not now, like out
Yeah.
with drinks. Because all you're
Yeah.
doing is you're segregating everybody in the room. And that's fucking humiliating, man. And that's what aggravates me. Now, these rich, they totally know that. So when you get in those discussions, politics, you're separating the rich from the poor. It's the oldest trick of Egyptians. The priests started it. They would get their kings who confide in them to bury them in their. Priests would go and get the scoundrels to go rob the place and give the money back to the priests. See, the more I look into history,
They're
the
like
more I'm
Jawas.
It's dude, it's the same thing. Yeah, but the Jawas lived off crap, right? These guys live off of wine and grapes.
Yeah, I know.
But
Well, to your
this is
point,
why-
I don't. Yeah.
This is why I don't like to talk about it in personal settings, because if people to and I'm friends with do not understand that politics separate and your paycheck and your dignity, then I probably don't want to hang out with you. And I know, as far as a legitimate option to vote for between Liberal and PC, none of them care about me, you. You're on your own because you're in a different province. None of them care about me, my parents, my wife, and my neighbors for that matter, who I.
Well, that's why I changed it. I changed it from a. Well, I mean, I don't get too political on it. I vote because it's our thing, but really, I want to know what's going on in my neighborhood. How are they going to help me in my neighborhood?
And
that's
how
it.
you win,
that's
man.
The
That's a
only.
great
That's
point.
the only thing. It's how's my neighborhood going to benefit from this person? Is their door going to be open for me to come in and say, "Hey, listen, whatever." And if it's not, then they're not the right person. And that's at every level, in America, everywhere. And what the point I'm trying to make here is traveling the world. I always get a kick out of these idiots that are blowing up the internet that have never left the fucking hockey rink.
Oh, well, let's talk about where we used to live. How can you judge what should be done with a whole province if you're living in a place that has that all you have is a variety store? Like how do you determine what's like? That should almost be run by a separate thing. Like
somebody should be in there in power in these things that has actually left their country, traveled the world, and saw what the country, and it happens everywhere. What I'm just saying, I see it every day. I just spent 2.5, 3 hours walking around one of the most incredible cities in the planet. If I could actually, if something were to happen to this city, I would be heartbroken because I'm like, it's just people walking their kids. That's all it is. There's a park, there's a hockey rink, kids over there playing basketball. Everyone is the same around the world. Despite you idiots that want to think it's race and whether they're gay, straight, black, Chinese, white, everyone does the same shit. They take the kids to the park. They want to watch a cool program on TV. They just want to do their own thing. And that happens. I'll watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, which you can't really do in some of these parts of the world. But yeah. So anyways.
But everybody's the same. I was relating it to around here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's frustrating. But yeah.
See, here's the thing that's discouraging as well is you can't vote for what's best for your little area because you're afraid if you don't vote for the one of two parties, the other one's going to win. And it's realistic because that's true. I was looking at the Green Party. That guy was like senior citizens, dental, was lowering taxes. It was like, I love these ideas, but you're never going to win. Never.
That's what discourages people because I went green two elections ago because I was like, I don't like that guy. I don't like that girl. I'm definitely not going there. And I was like, what's the green guy doing? Oh, the green guy's cool. But people go, well, my voice isn't going to be heard. So I'm just going to stay home. So now it's the same 25 people in, whatever.
How did the Liberals, Catherine wins, right? And person was going to have any hope in hell. What the hell? Like what? And I would have voted for them or not, but I'm just saying, like, as far as the top two powers, You got Doug Ford's brother was a crack addict. Is like publicly opposing him, and then you got throwing up the person that was partially responsible for the worst time Ontario's ever had.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do, Ontario? What do you want me to do? I'm gonna sit home. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna have my smoke. Thank you for that, though, lad. And I'm gonna cut my little slice of heaven here, and I'm gonna hang out with my and I'm gonna take care of them and my family.
It's all you could do. It's all about
the government stepped in is taxing like all my artwork online now too, bud. And everything, all three, like all the taxes are now on all my artwork online. Anything I sell online artwork wise, they're like right up my ass now. Stickers, I could sell $1 sticker they want to cut now. Again, they don't need that from me, man. They don't understand that $2 from that sticker times 5 is a lot of money to me. You know, like that's part of a bill. We're like $50. I spent that on, you know, on a sucker for my sucker. Look, it's from Disneyland.
Yeah.
Whee! They don't understand that shit. So, you know, now I'm getting the shit taxed out of me, and they're hurting me even more. I couldn't have voted to get out of this. There's no way.
Well, just
anyway,
cut your grass, hang with the ducks, cut your grass, hang with the ducks, do the commissions. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying being around the world, and I feel bad, you know, for
I'm glad we talked
those places because I'm like, yeah.
So this is again, I'm glad we did point of how my blood elevates when I talk about politics.
Yeah.
And this is why I like talking about politics, because you're afraid to. No, because I'm going to reach across the table and choke you, stick my fingers in your eyes, and then DDT you. Like, I'm going to hit your chair. Fuck you. That's why I'd rather be friends. Yeah. I'd rather not hear your douche on why we should get rid of, you know, people who aren't white, or, you know, why we should have home. I'd rather not hear that opinion from you, man. Is that cool? Can we be cool? Have me. Anyway, okay, so politician talk over 3, 2, 1.
Good times.
Rad dudes.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Tune in episode 4.
Get some clips for Dean's show there on that one.
That's right.
Cheers.
Awesome, everybody. See you soon.